But say that you like games where you match 3.
Sure.
Say that you happen to like those Might and Magic.
See, you like Square Enix style games with lots of
RPGs,
sprites that are really, all this kind of stuff.
Stories, quests,
even maps that go from dots to dots, but done much better,
much bigger. Like with instead of so in Gyromancer it's like a big black screen with like a couple tiny little icons and a screen.
I could have made that in a day, basically.
With
really
Photoshop.
Bad. Yeah.
So, but Might and Magic Clash of Heroes. So you last week were like, I'm excited about this. I'm like,
it's like, dude, it's a match 3, like, and you're like, whatever.
I was like, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's really good.
It's actually really fun.
So it is a match 3, but very different from any other match 3 that I've ever played with.
I've never seen
it's match 3 in terms of you are dragging stuff down and bringing stuff up. So if you ever played, there's like a Neo Geo game, Magical Money Exchanger. There's Magical Drop. Okay. There's a few other ones where you're bringing balls down and pushing them back up in matching 3, right? So it's that thing, but it's much more strategic.
It's so cool. So basically, it's you versus another army. So the top bad guy army is the top, and the other guy, your army is in the bottom. And what happens when you line up 3? So you've got all these armies of different colors, and you're moving a guy around, and you're trying to get 3 in a row.
Yeah.
But when you do that, they form into an army unit that then charges at the enemy.
Yes, but it takes some time, so it takes turns, and it's a much more slower game, right? So you get 3, 4, maybe 5 turns, depending on what level you are.
Before your guys charge up.
And
so you're watching the other enemy, like he lines up 3 and charges up here, he lines up 3, and if you line up 3 horizontally, it builds a wall.
Yeah.
And the wall will stop your armies. So there's all this, like, it's like playing chess with match 3.
It's just the combination, and like not only that, you get 3 main army units that are your typical 3 units. You get 2 elite units, which you basically have to it's like a deer or something like that. It's two spots.
Yeah.
You have to line 2 of the same color around it to charge it up, and then like the deer has special ability where it can jump over walls.
The tree has this fucking awesome ability where it drives the roots all the way into the enemy camp and then sucks its life out and brings it back to you.
The priest, which will go and then attack a unit, and then if it hits the unit or something like that, it'll make the charge time increase.
Oh yeah.
Which is really interesting. So it's all strategy, and then there's the champion units. Is that what they're called?
The knight guy.
Well, there's a bunch of the dragon. Did you get the dragon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and basically it's one we have to do 4. So it gets complicated. There's all these different.
You have to line up 4 units, and you only get like 3 moves per turn. So you're basically like really kind of trying to build up this whole world of you're trying to time units and stuff.
And you get combos.
For
more turns.
Oh. God, it's cool.
Yeah.
So once you do some things like the dragon, they'll shoot like acid, and then
it'll leave acid.
It'll leave acid, so if the other person tries to put stuff there, it hurts their enemies.
And basically tied into all this. Oh, the other cool thing is the garbage model, right?
Yeah.
The garbage model. You basically. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I've been coding a lot these lately.
Yeah.
But basically, like as your guys get destroyed or they attack, they go back into this little queue, and that just keeps on increasing. You can use one of your turns to bring them back up.
Bring all your dead guys.
So you
back.
reset the board, and like the timing of that is really important.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want to do it too early. You don't want to do it too late because you have to block, and it's just
So the whole thing is that they've out Square Enix. So we just told you about the combat.
Oh wow.
But then there's just this whole world, and it's just like you go around, and then there's little side quests where you can go on bounty hunts, and you're kind of wandering around, and you're meeting different people, and the story's actually halfway interesting. There's all this intrigue with knights versus or elves versus humans,
and then demons are doing all this stuff in the background.
And there's modern jokes.
Yeah,
there's modern jokes like. There's this one guy that's like screaming at you that you've got a pretty mouth, like all these like kind of references to old movies and stuff that some kids wouldn't get, but people our age, I'm just like, ooh, that's Deliverance.
Yeah,
they made a rape joke, and nobody knows.
Yes.
Now we told you, rape jokes in this game. They're funny. So I mean, but there's all sorts. It's that thing that games are doing these days that you and I really like, which is they won't be so serious. Like Dragon Age does this, where they'll do like ye old blah 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 with knights and whatever, but they'll make modern dialogue.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed 2 did a really good job of it. A bunch of other games are doing it, and I really like also the kind of trend more toward taking multiple different genres and then smashing them together. Now, of course, like Puzzle Quest did this before. A lot of other games have done this before. This has even gone another level beyond it to me, right? And it's just a DS game.
It's just a DS game. Yeah.
And to me, it's like it's probably one of the best DS games this year.
It is.
Short amount of time.
It's right up there with Mario and Luigi RPG. It's like really, really, really deep.
How long is it? Because like I play. So you play you play like through one character all the way up to like level whatever. Because you can max out the level of your characters. I'm already starting a new level. With the knights, it's starting all over again.
Yeah. So like you'll level all the way up, and then a new storyline will start, and you'll switch from elves to knights, or you'll do whatever. But what I thought was really, really cool was that say that you kind of you've done a bunch of battles where it's like you versus some guy and you just try and kill them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then they start switching it up. So it's just like, once you're like, okay, I get this. I can do this. They're like, all right, now make it so that there's these 2 switches on the wall back here, and your knights have to hit them at the same time, which sounds easy, but it's fucking
really hard.
Because, you'll try and build this up so your knights are ready to charge up at the same time, and then they'll block this guy by building something over here, and then only one guy hits the switch. So you're like doing it to try and then they'll be like, stop these guys from cutting down a tree.
Yep. The boss characters are really interesting. They will teleport, so you have to hit them and use only these 2 rows, and you'll set up the thing, and then they'll move.
Yeah.
But they'll have a hint saying, here's where they're going to move next.
Yes.
So you got,
It is so good. So, and they keep you on your toes. Like, as soon as you think you understand the battle mechanic, they're like, now what? Like, we've given you different units. We've got different battle mechanics. We've got different enemies. And then once you get really good at it, they're like, now you're level 1.
Yeah.
And all of your skills are gone, and you're this other guy.
And all of the units that you have different abilities now. So it's like a whole different game.
So they out Square Enix. I mean, this is exactly what Gyromancer should have been. If you take the skills of Square Enix and PopCap together, it could have been this deep. It could have been this engrossing, and it was a phone-in.
And who knows, how this particular game, who is it even from, right? It's just like they took Might and Magic, the license, and saying, we'll stick it on this, and they took a couple elements from Might. Like, you ever played any of the Might and Magic? Here's the Might and Magic.
Yeah, here's the Might and
You
Magic.
you would have to actually go your special units. You only have a certain number. When they die, they die.
Yeah.
You have to go back to different areas and then buy them back up again, which is really interesting. And it falls in they took that and okay, whatever. It's like Critter Crunch and then a couple other different games, whatever, and then just polish the hell out of it.
So I can't say I literally have one complaint about this game.
What's that?
That I think it's really stupid that you're wandering around and they're like, "Do you want to fight this guy?" You're like, "I don't know." I don't know if I want to fight this guy. And then you fight him he's level 75. You're level 3. You're just like, why don't you just give me the World of Warcraft thing where there's a big exclamation point that's like, he will fuck you in the face if you fight him, because it's just a waste of time. If you're level 3 and they're level 7.
And you can't quit.
You can't
quit. Actually, no, you can quit, but they take gold away from you.
Yeah. So I didn't see any benefit to that. I don't think, I think that it's one of those things where it's if they just say, this guy is beyond your skill level, come back later.
You know what's funny? That's actually a Heroes of Might and Magic thing.
Oh, really?
So when it's not direct, but basically when you're playing Hero of Might and Magic, it's a turn-based, you're going around, you'll see something, and you'll see archers, right?
Yeah.
It'll say lots of archers, many archers, hordes of archers, and you don't know, and you're like, I got some guys that can kill archers, maybe, and it's not just archers, it's that's the most of them, and you'll have other guys around, you're so a lot of times with that particular game, you fight him, and you save, you fight him, you're like, fuck, and you reload, right?
Yeah, I mean, so that's a little hint. I mean, this one, there's seriously no hint, it's just there's a sword, you gotta fight this dude, and you go up, and it's just that guy is gonna whoop your shit.
If you fight him and lose, you can retry.
Yeah, but he could kill some of your elite units,
which is gold.
Which sucks. I mean, it's not like a game killer. It's just that was my one complaint. It's I don't feel that this brings anything to the game. I think that they could have just given you a hint, this guy's about equal to your skill. This guy's really hard to level up and come back.
So if you even saw something even as weird as lots, many, or whatever,
or just an exclamation mark. I mean, just even a color bar like they do in Warcraft, where it's white, blue, red, whatever.
That's true.
I'm just saying that they could have made it better, but. I still...
Dude, it's super polished.
Buy this fucking right now. Go buy 2 copies and play them at the same time.
Yeah, and dude, you can get multiplayer. And we didn't even touch that. I don't know if it's online. It's probably just local.
Awesome.
But I bet you can, because it's really interesting, right? You can... I want to play you. I want to see if I can... My elves can beat your knights.
I know. I wonder if we can do Wi-Fi play.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I mean, so few games have it, but who knows? It's totally awesome. A lot of Christmas breaks coming up, so ask for it for Christmas, or use it for your trips.
Absolutely, and because now that we've reviewed this, I can say that because of this, if you have a DS, fuck Gyromancer. If you don't have a DS, play Gyromancer.
Dude, play Puzzle Quest, dude. Galactrix. There's so many better games than Gyromancer.
It's true. Gyromancer,
Square